Welcome to Glowing Success. My name is Heidi and I am your host. This podcast is for beauty entrepreneurs. Join me weekly as we dive into the beauty industry's ins and outs, from business strategies, top-selling services, and taboo topics. I will be interviewing industry leaders with empowering stories and game-changing insights. Let's illuminate your path to success together. Let's jump into this next episode. Welcome back to Glowing Success. I'm Heidi, your host. Now, if you've been feeling like your spa isn't bringing in enough income, or you've caught yourself thinking about getting a second job to fill that income gap, I want you to listen to this episode closely because I'm sharing 3 quick ways to increase your spa income. So before you make that move, I want you to try these quick 3 things because they will help you make more money in your spa and, most importantly, attract more clients. Because most of the time, it's really not about starting over. It's about standing out where you already are, okay? There's a lot of times where I find that people could be doing so many things differently, not necessarily giving a lot of effort, but doing things differently to try to attract those clients in the door, and they just haven't been doing it. So these 3 tips will help you bring those clients in the door, probably get some, really fast income, and hopefully, make it so you don't have to get that second job, because having a second job is very stressful. You're taking time away from your spa. You're taking time away from, building that business of your dreams, so to speak. And so this is why I wanted to do this episode, because it is vital for you to pay attention to your spa, give that effort as much as you can. But of course, we got bills to pay. We have real life things going on. So I want you to make more money. So tip number 1, get some clarity, okay? We're talking about clarity in the sense of this is going to help you with so many things, okay? So who is your favorite type of client? I'm going to ask you 3 different questions. Who is your favorite type of client? What problem do you help them solve? And here's one that people tend to overlook, is you also need to get clear on what you're known for, okay? So answer these 3 questions, write them down in a notebook, put them in your notes app. I'm going to focus on what you're known for because that is really vital for talking to others, your messaging online, and so forth. So in a sense, it's called your elevator pitch. So basically, if you're talking to somebody face to face and they ask you, so what kind of services do you offer? Or what do you do for a living? You want it to sound, you want whatever comes out of your mouth to be simple, inviting, and lead to more conversation. So that's important. Leading to more conversation. Open that conversation loop, okay? So for example, if you're like, what the heck are you talking about, Heidi? So this is an example for if you offered acne related facials or services. Say, because I struggled with acne for so long, I know what it's like to try everything and still not love my skin. Or you can put in there, I tried all the products and still didn't like my skin. Now I offer clear and simple solutions for anyone struggling with acne. So that leads it open to, well, what kind of services do you do? Or what do you do what are those simple solutions essentially, right? So those people want to know more, but you're not saying I help people with acne, because that's really simple, boring. That doesn't really give any connection. That doesn't even, lead them into asking questions, where you're talking about your own, story. You're talking about why you started, whatever you're doing. So people, it really invites them in a story setting way. Okay. Speak directly to the results. So what you're known for, right? Acne. You help people with acne. Okay. So it's relatable and makes them ask more questions. I promise you, if you can really, figure this out of what you're known for, you're going to have an easier time with everything else in your marketing. Okay. Your messaging just becomes more consistent. It becomes more recognizable, both online and in person. Okay. Are you ready? Tip number 2, visibility. So now that you're clear on who you help, what you're known for, make sure your visibility matches that. And this is really where a lot of people get held up as well. So maybe, now that we know those clear things, I want you to update your bio, and people should clearly know in your bio on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, about what you're known for. What do you do? Your pinned post, make sure your pinned posts are the same thing. Do they give indication of what they do? Why am I here in this page with you, right? I always tell people one of your pinned posts needs to be an introductory post. So like it could be a carousel, it could be a reel, but something introducing you and why you started your business, why you're in the beauty industry and so forth, right? And one thing that people forget about is your service descriptions. So really narrow in on your service descriptions to using keywords that your clients would actually use to describe that facial or that service. Okay. And you want people to think of like, oh, they want to feel seen by everything. Like, oh yeah, I need that facial because this is what I've been looking for. Okay, but one thing about visibility that people tend to forget is in-person marketing. So many people that I interact with online, I do one-on-one coaching with, they always tell me they're only doing social media, which is so easy to do, right? Because we're all on social media every day. But really those in-person connections, those everyday conversations, whether you're networking locally or, really being intentional about working with other service providers, those connections actually foster faster results. So actually it brings in clients much faster than online. Online has a little bit of a slower conversion. Sometimes it just depends on the client. Of course, there's going to be clients out there that go to your page and book with you right away. But the client journey is something that we always have to think about. And when you're thinking about that, client journey in the sense of online compared to in person's just shorter. So when you're introducing yourself to a person in person, let's say like you're at an event or you're doing some kind of, pop-up thing where you have a table, you're introducing yourself to that person right away. Hi, my name is Heidi, your elevator pitch. I struggled with acne for a long time and, so forth. So, but that connection is so much faster. That person's feeling your energy. They're feeling all the things, right? Do not sleep on in-person marketing, okay? But the magic really happens when you do combine both. So yes, I do work with people on adding in-person marketing because a lot of times they're doing social media, but showing up online and in person is where the magic really is, right? Then people start recognizing your name, remembering your brand, and they build that trust with you faster. If you're noticing a theme here, trust and having your clients feel seen is really where it's at. Okay, tip 3, connection. So the last piece is connection. So this helps your business build long-term growth. So think about your connection as this is going to build my business so I can make money long-term with this. This is how businesses last, okay? So one of the ways is you have to stay in touch with your clients and nurture that relationship outside of the treatment room, okay? One of the best ways I have found to do this is email. Through your emailing, okay? So I suggest everyone that works with me send consistent, short, and friendly emails. So this keeps your name in front of the client, so keeps their awareness out, reminds them why they love you, right? If they've already been to you and they're like, oh gosh, yeah, I remember that's what I want to do and this is what I want to feel like again. And it helps you attract new referrals because we're going to be asking referrals, we're going to be building that connection with those clients, and they're more likely to share it with others, okay? So I suggest you send a short weekly email, and that makes the biggest impact. That makes the biggest difference for businesses, okay? You can share like skincare tips, seasonal reminders, personal notes that make people feel a little bit more connected to you. So maybe something that you did and you want to share with them. And honestly, if writing emails feels overwhelming, that's exactly what I help people with in my one-on-one sessions. So I work with a lot of beauty professionals and I tailor their emails. So it not only sounds like you, so you can sound like you guys, but it's really like personal and designed to attract both repeat clients and those new referrals I was talking about. So that personal touch is like what turns clients into long-term fans. And this is what brings people back in the door if you have a bunch of people that have seen you only once, okay? So that connection piece is really where it's at. So before you start to look for another job to help you pay the bills, I want you to recap on the 3 things, okay? So get clear on your dream client and what you're known for. Make yourself visible online and in person, and strengthen your connection through consistent communication. Those three things are going to help you bring in clients fast, okay? These are just small shifts that you can make to completely change your business, but add more income in so you don't have to add that second job, okay? And this is what works. I've been in the beauty industry a little over 24 years, and I built my spa, I've built a team, and now I coach you on how to do that as well. And these are the things that are tried and true, okay? So if this episode inspired you, I want you to share with another beauty professional, your SD bestie, your beauty bestie, so they can use a little boost, okay? So they don't have to get that second job as well. And if you are ready to get a little bit more personalized guidance, I want you to book that one-on-one session with me. I will basically help you find clarity, polish your messaging up, and build that kind of connection that keeps that client coming back and get those referrals, make that more money, right? All of this will be in the show notes. You can just click my link in the show notes to book that. Thank you again for listening, and don't forget to tune in next week. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I'd love for you to leave a review. It really helps more people find the show. And if you know someone who'd also enjoy it, share it with them or tag me on Instagram so I can thank you. New episodes come out every week, so be sure to subscribe so you never miss one. See you next time.